Hi, my name is Austin, and I saw something online that was talking about um, doing practice problems like leetcode problems and projects while they were looking for work. I thought that was a really good idea. I always have the concept of trying to do continuous learning, and sometimes it's hard when you're having a full time job and you just want life when you come back home. So between playing games and catching up with people and just trying to spend time by yourself, it can be a bit much. So I figured I'd set aside an hour a day. I already went through all of this, but some of the footage didn't come through. So I thought I would make a very quick video to just kind of describe everything. And then we're gonna figure this out as time goes on. Maybe I'll do some more edits. Maybe I'll make this a full hour-long video every time. I don't know. But essentially, my idea is this. So the first thing really that we're gonna take a look at is this structure piece. So my basic concept is that I'm going to take an hour every single day. 15 to 20 minutes of that is going to be working on problems, specifically problems that will be within the realm of data analysis, which is the next job that I am hopefully going to have. I mean, I've got a decade worth of experience under my belt, or close to. I think it's probably closer to like 8 or 9 years, but either way. Um, and that's ranged from like radio all the way over to help desk and infrastructure, over to DevOps, and my most recent title was business analyst, but uh, less so on the business analyst side and more so on the data analytics. So I kind of want to continue down that, keep working on data analysis. And where I'm located, the Azure stack is kind of the big deal over here. So I'm going to keep working on the Azure stack. In looking at leetcode, I understand now that that's not exactly what I'm using for that. So maybe I'll do some Microsoft learning as well. But I want to work on my SQL, my C# or .NET, whatever it is that leetcode has. I'm not too sure, and my Python. Um, Python seems to be the big one these days, at least. I'd prefer to do more work in C#, but hey, uh, is what it is. I guess people want to use Python. I don't think it belongs in a corporate environment, but here we are. I've worked mainly with SQL Server databases, so I'd like to do T-SQL, but I understand that a lot of people online use Postgres, so things shift. So we're just gonna kind of go for relative skills here. I mean, things are transferable, so. So I worked on some leetcode problems, and then the rest of the time, the other 40 minutes, we're going to work on projects. So I like to try and do projects that are tackling problems that I'm currently having. So the first two things that we're going to do is a basic timer, as well as a to-do app. Just basic things that anyone can do. Quickly at least, and then we're gonna work on some other stuff. I'm in the middle of a bunch of different projects, so I'd like to continue working on my NES emulator. I'd like to continue working on the interpreter. I'd like to continue working on this video game that I'm working on Godot. They're not really data analysis kind of things, but they'll flex my software engineering skills. So not that I'm great, but the more you do, the more you fail, the more you learn. So that's kind of the basic idea, and I'll start by showing you the leetcode problems that I did first, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so initially I didn't really know how leetcode worked. I probably still don't, to be honest, but I was looking at some of the, um, what are they called? Crash courses or something like that. Those are quite a bit of money. I'm sure for some of you out there, it's not a lot of money, but for me, for me at least, I'm not going to drop $90 on a random crash course, especially when most of the stuff is free. So I looked online on the all-knowing Reddit, and a lot of people seem to say that you should probably just go and do problems. So that's what I did, and I just started pulling up the numbers. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but yeah, and I kind of just started doing some random stuff, and here we are. So I did the first two. Uh, two sum was pretty straightforward. Um, I don't know the best way to do this, but um, effectively what they do is they're trying to give us two lists. We want to find whatever their target is and return the indexes of the numbers that give you that. So if you know anything about lists, like this is the zeroth, this is the first, this is the second, this is the third value inside of this list. And, 7 plus 2 is 9, so 0 and 1 is what you return. It's pretty straightforward. So we just kind of brute forced this. I just kind of brute forced this. This is not an efficient way of doing things. I would not normally do this. However, what's your business case? Maybe you don't need it to be efficient. So yeah, we literally went in and just found the two indexes by force, shove it back, and give you your two values. It works. It is not fast, but we're here, 63 out of 63. We beat 8.86%. So looks like it's okay on memory at least, but yeah, it is not fast, which is totally fair, and I understand. We'll come back at a later time and make this more efficient and explain why this isn't efficient, but for now, this is what you have. Next one is adding two numbers. I'm not a huge fan of linked lists. They have their purpose, but for the most part, you can usually get away without linked lists. But what this is it's two values. They make this sound a lot more complicated than it actually is. It's two numbers that are in reverse order. So this 243 is actually 342. It's just swapped over. So, and we're just adding them together and giving them back a linked list that is also reversed, and that's it. And you might think initially we need to read these in and reverse them and add them together, yada yada. You don't. Whenever you add values, you always add them from the most basic number to the most complicated number. So we're going to go from the ones to the tens to the hundreds to whatever it is and keep going. And all we need to know is whatever the carry value is. So that's pretty much it, and it'll give you your right number. So we're loading those in. We're making a new node, a new linked list, I should say, and it already gives you the definition for a linked list, so we can use that. And so we go through, we grab each value, we're gonna add them together, toss the carry in there as well, create your node, and just kind of move on to your next value. And by the end of it, we're just going to return your complete linked list. The reason that I'm doing .next is because I had initialized that with a 0. Probably not the smartest, but hey, whatever, we did it. And that returns my 708 or 0708 if I got rid of the next. And that's what we need. So once you submit, this one's pretty quick. I'm sure there's plenty of other things out there that are better, but yeah, this works for now. So those were the two that I got through on LeetCode, but I had spent a bunch of time trying to explain it, and then I got a little confused with what their definitions were and everything inside of LeetCode, so it took me a little longer than expected. So hopefully I can do more than 2 problems every day, but you never know. I guess it depends on how hard the problem is. So that's LeetCode. Okay, the last section here is just the timer app. So the timer app works for the most part. It could look prettier, but you know, they're not all winners, and this is a version 1. This is the minimal viable product here. So what we can do in here is I wanted to create time blocks. So these time blocks, whatever, we'll say new time block. Oh my god, new time block. Some days, I'm telling you. So let's make this an hour, and I'm gonna make a 30-minute time block or a segment, a 20-minute alarm, 10-minute alarm. Okay, so I have 3 alarms inside of that 60 minutes. I'm gonna save that, and then when I start that, it sequentially goes through and gives you those timers. You can go and click in and see what your segments are. So like this one's a 20-minute and a 40-minute. That's going to be my usual one. And you can start those and those will go through. I was testing with like 1-minute timers. All of these get saved to a JSON file. So, you know, Jason can help us out here. And that's how we're storing them right now. Not anything too complicated, and it works. We still need to work the edit, and we need to work the delete command into some of that, because as of right now, at least, there's no way of deleting any of these time blocks. There's no way of editing or deleting the time segments. So we need to work on that. But other than that, it's working just fine. And I think the alarm itself I'll change as well, because it doesn't continuously go off and annoy the shit out of me. So it's not doing its job. So I want that to happen, and then I think I'm good. And of course make it look better. But this is what you get for 15 minutes that was left. So we're good, and that was today. It was good. It felt like I actually accomplished something, and I'm looking forward to what some of the problems are going to be in LeetCode there. I've never really done that, so maybe it'll get annoying after a while, and maybe then I'll switch it up and go over to like some Microsoft Learning or something. But for now, at least, I think it looks kind of like a new fun thing for me to do. And you know, hey, maybe I'll be hip with the tech bros or something. So looks like it'll be fun. I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings, and hopefully I'll actually remember to record things properly tomorrow. So should be good.